Pull the condom over the member. I didn't know you had to be a member. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. What if you haven't got a scrotum? What if you have a Toyota or a Volkswagen?
Stop it, please, I beg you!
Like it or not, Mrs. Brown has become part of our nation's culture. You go into any card shop in the UK, and amongst the Del Boys and Tommy Coopers, you'll find Mrs. Brown. We here are all well aware of this Irish sitcom's reputation of being fecking shite. Have any of us seen the show?
I don't want to admit it on the internet. I've actually seen a few episodes. It's on Christmas Day. I don't get to choose what channel we watch. It's fucking shit.
I have seen adverts for it. Every time I've seen any kind of marketing material for Mrs. Brown's Boys, my immediate response is, I don't want to go anywhere near that. So no, I've never seen it. And it was something that I was quite proud of until today, when that streak is going to be ruined.
I've never seen Mrs. Brown's Boys, but I have seen the guy who is Mrs. Brown on QI, and I remember thinking he was quite funny.
Rory, have you seen Mrs. Murphy's pussy? There's a photograph of it down in the post office. It's fucking huge.
Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original.
I'll drop some more lore on you all.
Great.
The Boy That Would Be Brown. The saga of Mrs. Brown's Boys began in 1992, when Irish comedian Brendan O'Carroll created a radio programme of the same name. From this he wrote 4 comedy novels about the joyfully vulgar Brown family, one of which was adapted into a film in 1999. During the noughties, O'Carroll wrote and starred in 7 Mrs. Brown stage plays. The sitcom version of his creation began in 2011, winning a BAFTA for Best Sitcom of the Year in 2012.
So you're telling me this man has one idea and has been battering against the same thing again and again?
Yes.
For 30 years he's going, Brown's Boys, Brown's Boys, Brown Boys.
What you gonna do?
Mrs. Brown has been well and truly milked.
And it's brown, so drink it down.
Mrs. Brown's Boy in the Struck
Movie to it, yeah.
I guess the show's main gimmick, other than the main character is played by a man in drag, is that within the show, the fourth wall is very loose.
Is that because they couldn't afford a better set?
The mistakes the actors make, which normally would be edited out, are usually left in.
I can't believe that Peggy the poison fish...
They're quite loose with the fourth wall, but they're also quite loose with the term comedy.
Well, apparently Sam's family is the main demographic of the show.
They don't even like it. They insist on watching BBC One every year, and half the stuff they complain about.
Tomorrow night I'm going to cook her favourite. Hope it'll cheer her up.
What's her favourite?
Leaky cocky.
You mean cocky-leaky?
That's it.
Yesterday we said to our friend, imagine the worst thing you would have to watch for a video on a Christmas special. And he said, is it Mrs. Brown's Boys?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mrs. Brown's Boys!
Luckily my mug is full of whiskey.
One year my dermot asked me for something to wear and something to play with. I got him a pair of trousers and I cut the pockets out.
Guys, I'm happy to call it there.
Yeah, I've seen enough.
I've seen way more than enough.
Is it snowing yet?
No.
Feck it.
Where did that get a laugh?
Rude word.
I also love laughing at Irish people.
Grandad is tea made. Grandad.
Is that her granddad?
Must be asleep. Or fecking dead.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I wish I was fucking dead.
Maybe you could work for one of those escort agencies. Do you think? Oh, yes, I'm sure there's loads of rich men out there want to go out with their ugly fecking granny. No, I was joking.
Thank you for spelling it out.
They're just laughing every time she says feck.
You're up early, Maria. I thought you went in more till 2 o'clock. Did you just bang your breast off the table there?
Why would they leave that in? That's really weird.
Is this Mila Kunis?
Possibly. She's going to go for a run.
For the first time in 4 years, I'm going to have all my family together for Christmas.
The boys are back in town.
Would you like some tea, Hidley?
Do you have anything that's not a mug?
Your dog's dish.
What the Why did that get a rapturous laughter?
Whoa, Caesar. She called it after a salad.
I know my sense of humour is broken, but fuck.
The other actor's laughing. I wonder if part of the audition is whether or not you find Mrs. Brown's voice funny.
A lot of the cast playing the family are actually related to Brendan O'Carroll. That's his wife. The neighbour who came in at the start is his sister.
Now, darling, please don't look into this too much, but I'm going to dress as a woman and you're going to be my daughter.
It's Agnes of Arabia. She's a silly ass.
A bale of hay for the donkey, Mr. Foley.
That woman was in pain then. She's looked at her like, yeah, it's funny. Fucking get me out of this show.
Mark has something he wants to say to you. Don't you, Mark?
What, love?
Oh, Ma, I don't find Mrs. Brown's voice funny.
What are we marking it out of?
Out of 10.
We'll give it just put down shite.
I thought that was a fucking belter.
Rude word equals comedy.
Guys, this is the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
The best way of watching Mrs. Brown's Boys is not to watch Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Hello, son.
How are you, Mommy?
Bro, do these people fuck at 18 or something?
1, 2, 3, 4.
No cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day.
Get that team a BAFTA!
Sounds like Voldemort. Harry Potter is dead.
Oh, shit.
I've had a bit of a tumble.
What would be funny if his leg was broken the other way?
Shit, what's that doing there?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to snow tonight.
No, it's quite mild, actually.
Feck's sake.
Let's go outside and play drizzle balls.
You must be upset with the news about Trevor. About him not coming home for Christmas.
It's not a fucking pantomime, you know.
Wah. I am crying right now. Wah. Exclamation point. Shock.
Trevor's not coming home.
I know.
I knew it. I knew you knew it. I feckin' knew it.
Trevor did a better job than us at avoiding Mrs. Brown's Boys.
I have it. You have what?
How to kill a turkey. I got it off the internet.
Has to be done, Mummy.
Does it have to be done? Is that what everyone does?
This was the highlight of every Christmas for me.
Murdering the turkeys.
When Dad would pass me the hatchet and say, "Get at it, lad."
Damn, your family were poor. I got a circular steel saw.
Dear red-nosed fat bastard.
The fact that there's a whole studio audience laughing at this has given me new insight as to why society has so many problems.
I swear to God, if there's a musical number.
It's coming right for us!
Are they going to sing the whole of Silent Night?
Silent night.
It's Trev.
I'm not too late, am I?
Happy Christmas.
I got you a stripper.
Well, who saw that one coming?
I did. I saw it coming.
I saw me coming.
And a happy new year to your family.
But not to you, just to your family.
You can go fuck yourself.
You best stop believing in families, Mrs. Brown. You're in one.
What are you, Vin Diesel?
Do wish Till Lindemann walked onto that stage and just like kicked her in the face. All the actors are happy because they've embezzled so much money from the BBC.
Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal.
So I'm extremely disappointed in myself because I actually laughed at a joke they said. Henry the brown-nosed reindeer.
He was just as fast as Rudolph, but he couldn't stop as quick.
And then immediately I just had this overwhelming sense of shame and guilt.
I hurt myself today.
I could quite easily compare it to Lee Mack's Not Going Out, in that it's very like established comedian, has a sitcom where they play the lead character. It's about their life and it's all very kind of boomer humour.
How can you have a gay ear?
It's like having straight teeth.
Bifocals.
I've decided I love a bit of Mother Nature. In fact, she's on my MILF list.
I found it weird when they were actually laughing.
I agree. It wasn't that funny, and they were properly laughing. Maybe this is why he gets his wife and his friends to play it.
Nobody else finds him funny.
They had a weird contrast between jumping around, hitting themselves in the arse with a tray. This is the joke. Then, like 30 seconds later, Christmas is about family and I miss my son.
It has an element of like slapstick kind of comedy to it, but it would be funnier if it committed to it more. Lol, I'm a woman, basically. But when will my son return from war?
You know what's funny? Women.
Are we watching another episode? That's the next question.
Sam and I did specifically say that we would not watch Mrs. Brown's Boys and we would find an elaborate series of skits in the background to do, and that would be the joke. I think we should watch another episode, and this time
I think we should watch another episode too.
God damn it.
In theory, this should be better, because they should have honed in on the recipe for making a good Christmas special.
Shows famously only get better over time.
Or it gets worse because they've run out of ideas.
This time it's going to be her daughter, who she's not sure is coming back for Christmas.
He hasn't thought outside the box since fucking 1990. He's been stuck inside a box, inside another box. He's a Matryoshka doll.
BBC famously don't commission long programmes, do they? Lots of these really good shows, these really good sitcoms only have a couple of episodes, and yet Mrs. Brown's Boys continues. After the apocalypse, it will just be cockroaches and new episodes of Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Part of that is also the actual people making the show and knowing it themselves when to call it a day. Like, the young ones in 40 Towers, only 12 episodes of those. It was the creator's choice to say, I don't think we can top that.
Are you arguing that these shows might have more integrity than Mrs. Brown's Boys?
That's nice.
They're still doing regular episodes as well.
It started in 2011. It's now 12 years. They've only done 4 series of 6 episodes. However, every Christmas and New Year there's been a special episode. Yeah.
It's amazing how some people can create something so clever and innovative, and then other people create Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Prepare for self-harm in 3, 2, 1.
Mrs. Brown.
At the start, the warm-up guy must say, you all got to laugh at this, or we're going to make you watch 2 episodes.
Kathy's cooking a meal for the new date, and she's trying to pick a sauce.
Oh, well, I'm going to try a bit of that.
That's the bowl I wash my fingers in.
It did have a taste of fish off it.
Disgusting!
Mrs. Brown's dog wanking services.
Chinese is nice. I love chicken's balls.
Becky, you're a woman. Do you think balls are funny?
Give me a context.
Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Mrs. Brown's Boys.
No.
Quick nibbles, chew through my ballsack.
Do not try and compete with another man's wife.
Especially one that's dead.
Lord rest her.
I genuinely can't tell if that was a joke.
Read your Bible. Listen, I asked you how many rolls of wallpaper you got for your sitting room, and you said 7.
That's right.
Yeah, I got 7, and I had 2 left over.
So did I.
That's an old joke. Well, as opposed to every other joke in this. I heard that in a Two Ronnies sketch.
So did I.
Look at my horse is amazing.
Oh, and for you, Buster.
Stick it up your arse.
Do not mess with me. You won't like me when I turn green. I'm a hobble.
Fuck you. That guy's laughing, I don't like it.
Do you think Kathy's fella might be a vampire?
Irish Twilight.
Give it to him!
Sorry, what am I watching right now?
George R.R. Martin writes Mrs. Brown's Boys.
You'll soon be the healthiest corpse in the morgue.
Is that the same guy?
Yes.
Well, this is 10 years later, so...
Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
The latest Beano annual is out.
Here, give him that. Tell him I sent it. It's his favourite.
Not anymore.
Why not?
Well, apparently the wrapper's destroying the oceans, and the chocolate comes from farmers who are exploited, and the cow's farts destroying the planet.
I hear you're a vegan now, Father.
It's him, it's Boris.
Relax, I'll let him in.
Oh, come on, Boris Johnson, Bojo, come on.
Is this going to be just like the magician bit from OT Craft?
Yes, it is.
Are you Boris?
Yes, I'm Boris.
The Magnificent.
He doesn't look like a vampire.
Who needs food on a beautiful night like tonight?
It's pissing rain and fog out there.
To their credit, they've done a lot less. Someone tells a joke and people around them are just laughing, which none of us really particularly liked in the last episode.
Transition ahoy!
Switch it on.
Are you honestly wooing that?
Mrs. Brown's Boys should tackle more diverse annual holidays. I think there should be a
Kwanzaa special.
Mrs. Brown's Hanukkah.
Mrs. Brown's 9/11.
I love you, son.
You can tell that guy is related to the boy because they're wearing the same outfit.
God, I wish my dad loved me enough to get me a matching outfit.
Buster? Wallace?
Gosh! My wristwatch.
Sorry.
Like father, like son.
It's the caps. They turn them into criminals.
I want to show you me tree.
The bookcase is gone. Now she's got nothing to fall off.
What are we going to do for comedy now?
We'll have to say feck at least 10 more times.
Maybe I am having flashbacks to when I was in Vietnam.
Why were you in Vietnam? You're Irish.
Oh, God. Worst holiday I was ever on. I'm going through the change of life. Again.
All I want for Christmas is a cure for the menopause.
For feck's sake.
A very dusty carpet.
I learned about this in school. It's called hyper-stress hallucination.
There you go, man. Nothing serious.
I learned about this in school. It's called Mega AIDS.
I'm sorry, I pronounced it wrong. It's Mega 8.
Mrs. Brown versus the Christmas clap.
Your generation didn't really care about the environment.
In my day, we washed the baby's nappies. We didn't throw one out every time a baby had a shit.
We're going to own the Gen Z.
We drank water out of the tap. We didn't buy plastic bottles of water.
Are they trying to blame Zoomers for global warming?
You've only been around for 20 years. Take that shit.
Hello, Mrs. Brown.
What?
It's a fucking The Shining reference. Sorry, The Shining. I don't want to get sued.
You're all going to die down here.
A little bit of weed just came out there.
Isn't it funny just pissing yourself?
Keeps you warm at night.
It's not that it's like an unfunny joke, because it's not a very original one.
No.
We like fixing things.
We like Heelys.
Good night,
Kathy. Good night, Boris.
Back to Transylvania.
Those girls are evil.
They listen to all this new pop music.
I suppose a bit of rowdiness among friends is okay.
Oh no, Boris. We're not just friends. We're all family.
Time for the musical number.
Oh fuck, I forgot about this shit. Oh god.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. Hang out with the family, having ourselves a party.
So as a guy, they think he's a vampire and he's like, I don't really like having fun. And they're like, well, clearly he's a musical number.
He's a pre-choreographed musical number.
In a 27-minute episode, they had time for that whole song.
We are feckin' feck.
I got all my feckin' with me.
Feck me.
Happy Christmas. Oh, shit.
I would much rather watch normal Countdown than this.
Nice arse.
Well, that was it. What about the plot?
Oh shit, there's a hole here. What's that for? Oh, that was the plot.
The songs were just shoved in.
The Silent Night one is at least like a Christmas song in a Christmas episode. It's unwarranted, but yeah.
One was more about Christmas than the other. The latest one was really about her daughter having a boyfriend who might be a vampire.
It's a classic Christmas story.
Yeah, I thought they were going to convince him that Christmas is actually good or something. You know, he's been a bit of a Scrooge, doesn't like Christmas.
It was a weird sort of Halloween Christmas.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. I think I'd probably laugh at that more than they'd like the new Simpsons. There's only like one joke.
Oh god, that's true.
Would you rather watch Mrs. Brown's Boys or the new Simpsons?
The new Simpsons.
Oh god, it's just mad to me that they could get an entire studio audience laughing. 2 specials a year, people watch it, it keeps getting commissioned, people fucking love this stuff. Pandering to the lowest common boomer denominator. The reputation is that it's shit. The reputation is that it's hot guard. And,
Yeah, it's obviously not for us, and humour is very subjective, and there's sitcoms that I know some people like, but then there's similar ones that they don't, if one seems cruder than the other.
aren't you that TV show everyone hates? No, I'm Mrs. Brown's Boys.
What made it more insufferable, the audience are loving it, but we're not, and when you're not, it perhaps makes it more infuriating. To hear people howling with laughter at something you might smirk at. You think, well, that's not worthy of a belly laugh.
The contrast of them just saying the word feck and me kind of sighing, but then in the background I'm hearing roaring laughter.
We're now in a world where Graham Linehan has no career through his own self-sabotage, while Brendan O'Carroll can thrive. Mrs. Brown's Boys is pretty much the Irish equivalent of Tyler Perry's Medea movies. It's an American film series where it's exactly the same gimmick, except they are movies, not a TV show. So it's a man playing an overbearing, bossy woman, and they're very popular despite most people who aren't a fan of them saying they're abysmal, the worst thing they've ever watched.
Why do you all look like you have your knickers in a bunch? Did I say something wrong?
But to me, if you don't know if you had to say something wrong, yeah, you said something wrong up in this bitch.
Knickers, it's underwear.
Yes, it's knickers. These are knickers.
Actually, that almost turned me on a little bit.
That language gap almost got you capped. You better be careful here. Better not say that again.
It's not just unfunny, it's anti-funny.
Well, it is a family show. They've invited anti-funny.
Good night, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
What you need to do is end the video right on that.
Balls.